Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourselves in this weird, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of. Oh, fuck, I can't even remember the name at this point. Frankly, I'm too sick to care. This edition is brought to you by Papa Nerd, now with extra nerd news. This evening, we find Jasper Gray having been given a task by the Lord of the Infernal Court in order to retrieve a signed, sealed contract and covenant currently lost in the oblivion, currently lost in the maelstrom. Jasper stands at the bottom of the spiraling staircase that leads up to the tyrant's office. The excuse me, the light, the only light that flickers in this dark, stony building comes from purple flame that appears to hang at random intervals, situated. This appears to hang at random intervals about 10 feet off the floor, bathing everything in an eerie, bluish light. And we will enjoy Jasper as he stands there, I guess.
Okay, so he's been around for a little bit. He's probably been bugging a lot of people to be like, hey, the fuck is all of this? So by now he probably knows about lore of portals. Yeah, that's what it is. Lore of paths is the one he has. But lore of portals, and he's hoping that would be able to get him to the Shadowlands. Unless big old dude was like, yo, I'll give you a way in there, or was he just kind of like, find your own way?
He said that he would get you a way in.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay, so I guess I'll head up there then.
Okay. You hear the incessant scribbling of 13 scribes who are all seated in kind of a half moon position, facing away from the tyrant who is seated behind his desk, also scribbling in a large ledger. In front of him, however, you will see another individual whom you haven't met. I'm gonna say Ragnar is not in his Avok form at this point. You're in human form here, so appropriate for his. And the tyrant, without looking up from his paperwork, will say, "You are to accompany the young lady as she enters, or as he enters. Ah, Mr. Gray, we were just discussing you."
He'll give a thumbs up.
A bow is more traditional.
I'm not really one for traditional things.
I can accept this premise. Allow me to introduce you to Ragnar, the Slayer of Ideals. Ragnar, this is the new cub. Allow me to introduce you to the yet unnamed Jasper Gray.
Good evening, how are you doing?
I'll just give it a thumbs up. Just like, good.
Considering you are venturing into the realm of the dead, I felt it was wise to send someone who is more an expert in that realm than others.
Yet another thumbs up.
Interesting. But yes. Now then. He proceeds to take the piece of paper he's working on and he tears it from the book. As he tears it away from the book, however, you hear what sounds like an almost a muffled scream of pain from the book itself. And he then proceeds to place the page down on the table in front of him before he affixes a heavy wax seal on it in crimson red wax and will hand it out towards Jasper.
Zamise. But he'll take the piece of paper.
Can Jasper read Latin?
I mean, he's got the lore thingy, so I don't know what I mean.
Do you have language Latin?
No. Not yet. I haven't gotten his like I said, I haven't gotten his merits and stuff yet.
Do you intend to take language Latin?
Yeah, I was intending to take like all of the languages he had before.
In that case, yes, you could read what it says. It basically, does Jasper have any law?
No?
Okay. It looks like a legal contract, but it's incredibly complicated. Like, there are clauses within clauses that stipulate clauses that are written in tiny print on the side. Like, it is a hallucinogenic generating mess.
I'm assuming this is what you want me to get the dude to sign?
You are correct. He must sign it there at the bottom where it says signature, and then he says, and you must sign it where it says witness.
Gotcha.
In that case, allow me to introduce you to the individual who will be acquiring you your passage into the Shadowlands. Kim, you feel something brush past your neck.
He'll just blink and kind of look.
This individual was not there a second ago. I emphasize this, and he is standing there. It is Apocalypse form. You see what you see. This is probably one of the first times you've seen anyone who is not the Iron Duke in his Apocalypse form. So if it freaks you out, it's pretty freaky.
I'll just kind of look the dude up and down, kind of nod his head with that not bad face on.
So you're basically giving him the sup nod.
No, the not bad face.
Okay. You notice he, as he bows his head in greeting to you, you notice the fact he's got his mouth sewn shut.
Mental note to learn sign language. Actually, no. Dude, bro, creepy enough, he probably just speaks through the head. Telepathy. Through the head. Oh my god.
The tyrant will extend his hand and he will say, "This is Alvan Drovis. He is known as the Walker of Plains. There is nowhere he cannot find, and no place he cannot access if given the correct amount of time." Yes, you can, Grog, if you want. Roll be intellect occult.
I also have legacy, so I know a lot about the old things.
That is fine. In that case, you may. Oh, how much legacy do you have?
4.
In that case, roll be intellect and legacy, please.
All right.
Difficulty will be standard.
All right. Well, apparently I know nothing. Jon Snow. Never met this guy.
He will bow to the tyrant before kind of looking at Jasper with those very large crimson eyes blinking, and he will eventually kind of quirk his head to the side, kind of indicating, "We are leaving now." You don't hear him say that, but you get the feeling that's what he means. As in a very strong feeling.
Okay. Well, let's go, I guess.
He will open his arms, and you see the entranceway, because in order to enter the tyrant's office, you have to enter through an archway. You see the archway start to shimmer, and a black mist-like miasma start to curl out of it. You will notice that books and scrolls start to mold and decay in the presence of the mist. And Zeldrovnus just strides through the newly opened portal.
Bragnar just nods to Jasper. All right, let us go then. And he walks right behind him.
Yep, I guess Jasper just keep going in there then. Or we'll go through. Yeah.
Okay. I emphasize this. I had more planned. You were going to have to go through it, not quite a dungeon crawl, but there was going to be more to this. But I'm not well, so I really blah blah. So you will find yourself standing in a essentially what looks to be a sea of black smoke. It gnaws at your clothing, and you feel as though it wants to devour away your flesh. However, the infernal light within your chest seems to beat it and ward it back. Zaldrovnus, for his part, kneels and kind of you see his wings and his many arms fold together. As Kim, you get the distinct impression what he means is, I will wait here. You must proceed on ahead.
And Jasper's just gonna keep going.
Okay. Steven. Sorry. Yes, Kim?
My bad. No, you do the thing with Steven first.
Steven, you are literally a crucified spread eagle. You feel your blood constantly dripping onto the floor, yet you cannot see anything, but you hear the sound, the drip, drip, drip. You feel yourself being eaten away by the shadow. Nothing can prevent it. You feel like you've already lost, fingers, toes. One of your hands has been completely subsumed by the darkness. It is not a pleasant existence. You may scream if you like.
I feel like he's already been screaming, and like his voice box is really gnarled. At most, I think he'll like have some kind of muffled like grunts.
Okay, Kim, what did you want to ask me?
I'm probably getting this wrong. I hope not. Could I use Lore of Paths to find a way to the dude? Or is that just not how it works?
That is how it works. What level of Lore of Paths do you have?
I've only got the first dot. I went one down completely. Just like 111 in all of them.
You will be given more dots. I've yet to work out the actual fucking house rules for Demon. I'm currently working on it. Yeah, I think it's an intellect survival to use that particular lore.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to roll me an intellect survival roll and spend a faith point.
Okay. Just to make sure, we all start at faith 3?
Yes.
Okay. Also, like I said, I haven't gotten his abilities done yet, but I was planning on putting survival 2 down.
That's fine. Kim, I trust you. You're not a dick or a power gamer. Don't worry about it.
I don't know.
Sam is often wrong.
Okay. Oh no, dude. I might be a power gamer. I'm a horrible person like that. Holy shit. I got 4 successes.
In your hand materializes a tiny wisp of angelic light or demonic balefire, whichever you personally prefer. That will basically spring up out of the darkness, cutting away the ropey shadow mist, and will lead you rather directly and rather straightly to Stephen. You've made it so I don't have to bullshit anymore.
Aha! Yeah, so Jasper's just gonna follow it.
Ragnar, having, traveled on this side of the Vale a lot, will be looking around nearly constantly to make sure that they're not about to be jumped by anything.
You get the distinct impression that there are eyes that are constantly watching you from the darkness. However, they appear to be more afraid of you than you are of them.
Yeah.
Plus, like, all the wraiths were kind of destroyed, so...
Stephen did a lot of shit, but that he couldn't touch the maelstrom. Let's phrase it like that. That would be that would be world-ending shit if he fucked with the maelstrom.
Or rig it.
Yeah, Stephen.
As you're getting closer, you'd probably hear like Ace screaming in a not screaming. It's kind of like choked, like strained. Help me! Like he's been calling it out for a long time.
Yep, as I say, you see this individual with skinless, eyeless, dripping blood into the nothingness that is devouring it. One of his hands is missing, and the darkness is proceeding to spread further. All he could do is hoarsely cry out for salvation. Enter salvation or damnation.
Yeah, so Jasper will just kind of casually walk up to the dude. You don't really know how that thing could casually walk up, but it manages. And it just kind of looks at you. It gives you a thumbs up.
He's blind, Kim.
Look. Jasper was gonna do it
has no
anyway.
eyes.
Jasper does not give a shit. And he's gonna say, so I was told to come and get you to sign something. If you sign this, you'll be fine. Ish.
You can save me.
Indeed, we can.
Give me what I'm supposed to sign.
I'll give you a pin, and then I'll just kind of press the paper there, and you just sign it, okay?
Grog, do you possess any dots in law?
I do. I have 1 dot.
That's enough for a demon. Because demons do this all the time. He can't see to sign, but if he presses a bloody fingerprint to it, it will count as signing.
So, like he looks at Gray trying to have him sign it, and instead he just brings a claw over very carefully and pricks the guy's finger oh so carefully before withdrawing.
I mean, he's already skinned. He's bleeding anyway, but...
I know. It's the thing that you do, though.
Jasper's just gonna look over and just kind of shrug, just like that, I don't know, kind of shrug.
Place your finger there. And he, like, slowly moves his hand to the spot.
Place it where? Bring the paper closer.
Dude, just, like, stick your hand out like he was bringing, just press your thumb. Like the paper is there.
He's like sticks his thumb out like to press something that he can't see.
Yeah, you do it, because I think Ragnar was like, you know, moving his hand to the piece of paper, and Jasper was just still holding it there like, okay.
Okay. What happens when Ace presses his finger to the paper? There is a smell of brimstone and a quick flash, and his bloody fingerprint turns into a very beautifully written signature. His signature. At which point, Kim, you must witness the document signing.
Yep. I don't think Jasper can prick his finger in this form.
You can sign it with a pen.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, he was gonna do that. 'Cause, like, he's kind of disorientated at this point. Because it's just kind of like, man, I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm still learning. So he just kind of looks at his thumb, looks back at the document, and then pulls out a pen and signs it.
Ragnar is literally watching to see what happens after the moment that she signs, because he's very interested in this, since he's not Faustian.
Yeah, that's fair. The darkness proceeds to swirl around you, However, it is now rotating in the opposite way. It restores Jacob's hand. Jacob, your skin is reattached to you in a moment of blinding, searing pain. Your eyes regrow from where there was nothing before, and you are left naked on the ground, but perfectly healthy, save for a mark burned into your skin, which is basically a very stylized series of Latin numerals and Latin tiny Latin phrases. Skin that covers your left pectoral and is just above your heart.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, you now see what it is you've signed an agreement with. Have fun.
Ragnar doesn't laugh, but I'm laughing.
Him reading it, is there anything that he would notice? Like, I know he doesn't have law, but anything interesting that would stand out?
You don't have law. You also do you know Latin?
Oh, no, never mind. He doesn't know anything about it then.
Nope. Yes, as I say, you now see the two demons standing in front of you.
He's like, kind of looks at them, and at this point, I feel like he's kind of just given up, and he's just like, so what are you wanting from me?
Oh, that's not for us to say. That's with the person you signed the contract with. And my accent just keeps going all over the place.
And who is this? Is it you? He looks over at Jasper.
Me? Oh no. I was just here to bring it because the boss didn't want to get out of his office or something.
He is your witness.
That too.
He'll nod.
You feel a fluttering behind you, but Jasper, you feel the exact same feeling again. From Jacob's perception, because you're looking in that general direction, the individual pictured in my display picture literally just steps out of nowhere.
Okay. He's a little shocked, like his eyes widen, and then he looks around him, and then he's like, he just kind of is like, well, the crazier things have happened.
The figure taps Jasper on the shoulder with one of its hands. Tap, tap.
And Jasper will look at him.
He once again cocks his head, but this time you get the impression he wants to say, "Are you ready to go?"
He'll nod.
He will then point at Steven, or he'll then point at Ace, and kind of intimate he is coming with us.
Contract say anything about having to bring him with us?
Do you say that out loud?
No, Jasper's looking at the contract.
Yes, it does actually. It says that we will rescue him from the abyss, or we will rescue him from the maelstrom.
Okay, so Jasper will look back over at the dude
Do
and
you
nod.
want to know, however, since you can read it, do you want to know what our payment is?
Yes, Ragnar is very much wanting to know.
On death, he will forfeit his avatar to the master.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
The whatchamacallit, the money armed entity will nod, and once again he will kind of extend his hand, and there is a shimmer that is slightly more red and ominous than the nothingness that is around you, and he will once again very calmly walk through it.
Yeah, so just a real quick quip, because Jasper was a mage like 3 days ago. When he reads that he's got to give up his avatar because he did kind of understand the importance of that, he'll just kind of, whoo, and then roll the contract back up again and head through the portal.
Ragnar, for his sake, just folds his wings around him like a cloak and just waits for Ace to follow behind to make sure that he doesn't get lost, because that's easily happens here.
Ace sticks close to him. He's really quiet. I mean, excruciating pain. Of course he's going to be quiet.
I will point out, you feel no pain anymore. You feel absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's why he's not screaming, but he's was going through absolute pain earlier. He's quiet now.
Mm-hmm. You will step back into the familiar, for those of you who are the demons, you will step back into the familiar blue of the tyrant's office. The kind of, as I say, immediately, Ace, you are hit with the smell of ink and the weight of time. Does your character have the time sphere?
He's time inept and doesn't have the time sphere yet.
Oh, excellent. Okay. You are standing in a room that is entirely lit by blue little by orbs of blue flame. There are 13 scribes who are each seated at desks facing away from the central desk, who are scratching at large tomes. And seated in the middle behind a large black desk is the individual here pictured, who is scribbling in his own very big book. And upon your entering, he will look up and he will say, "Ah, Mr. Gray, I see you are victorious then."
Yep.
May I have the contract, please?
He'll hand it to him.
He will unfurl it, look it over. Excellent. I do hope you are satisfied with our little agreement, Mr. Bishop.
I don't know what I really signed, but at least I'm out of that hellhole.
He kind of casually looks at Jasper and says, "You didn't explain it to him?" Excellent. You'll go far in this organization.
Ragnar's wings just kind of flutter a little bit as he's laughing in his shoulder.
Jasper's looking smug as fuck.
The tyrant will casually look down at the contract and he'll say, "Mr. Ace, what is it that, or Mr. Bishop, what is it you think you've done?"
I don't know. He thinks for a second, like, of the wish and everything, and he's just like, I don't know what's happening anymore.
So far, you are personally responsible for the deaths of 937 people.
Oh.
At that, Ragnar shakes again in a not very happy manner.
These individuals were high-risk patients, mostly individuals who required life-sustaining medication and/or machinery. Destruction of said machinery. You have caused rather a glut in the unexpected deaths department. Needless to say, you have become of interest to me. So it is that I liberated you when your own forebears, your own... He kind of quirks an eyebrow, and then he actually looks through a kind of a what's the name of the thing? Is it a Rolodex? You know, the thing that you have on your desk that has little contacts in it? I think it's a Rolodex.
Yeah, Rolodex.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
he'll look...
These are so fucking old.
I know, right? It's not like he was around when the world was created or anything, Kim. Jesus.
Get with the times.
Shush. He'll look through his Rolodex and he'll say, "Ah, yes, the phrase is Archmage. It's not as if your Archmages were content to let you languish in oblivion for what you've done. So, we liberated you. And all you had to do was promise something that, when I will come to collect it, you have no further use for."
He nods.
Now then.
As he's saying this, Ragnar's kind of slipping sideways and looking at the contract because he's very interested in this kind of thing.
Are you just reading the contract?
He's just reading it, like he's not touching it or anything, because that'd be unwise for someone of his station. But he is reading it, trying to figure out like what happened.
Can you be more exact than what happened?
He doesn't know what an avatar is, so he's trying to pick and choose words that he knows to understand.
We would have defined an avatar as the spark given via the Almighty to alter creation.
Ah, okay.
As I said avatar for Kim, but Kim will also be able to infer that the spark of divinity given by the Almighty is a mage's avatar. Mm-hmm. He will then kind of, he will reach up and he will say, he kind of throws the paper into the air, at which point it kind of looks like it's lit on fire and disappears. And he says, I've just sent that to the filing. Nothing. Is there anything else we can do for you, Mr. Bishop? Other than that, you are quite free to leave.
He kind of looks down on himself, who's standing stark naked, and he's like, well, some clothes would be nice.
Yes. The individual seat will kind of wave his hand, at which point, Jasper, you are dressed in a rather nice-looking black suit with a red tie.
Thank you.
Where is it you would like to go, Mr. Bishop?
He thinks for a second. And after, like, all the stuff that happened, he's kind of like... I just want to go home.
Very well, then. Mr. Gray, Ragnar, you will see this individual safely to his domicile, place of dwelling. I don't know what they have. Oh, Mr. Gray, there is also the matter of your reward. He will casually open one of the drawers of his desk, and he will remove a very pretty-looking silver ring that is covered in weird kind of the weird carved-in symbols, and slide it across the table to you.
He'll pick it up and look at it.
This is the Singilian Sanguis of sorry, 1 second. My apologies. This is the Singilian Sanguis of St. Mary the Virgin Church in Brooklyn. You will now have rights to gather and reap all faith generated from there via my authority until such time as I revoke it.
Holy shit. So he'll look a little surprised, and for the first time, he'll put it on, and then he'll look at the dude and bow and say, "Thank you."
As I've said, you have. By the way, at this point, he switches into a language that Stephen, you've got no fucking idea what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else here does. He's basically speaking the first tongue. And he says, "You've given me something of great value. I believe in the reward. I believe in rewarding those who do great deeds greatly. Know, however, that I also believe in punishing failures thusly. So, you will make sure that this idiot sees his way home, at which point our contractual obligation to him is finished. Am I understood?"
Completely.
Good. In that case, he will lean back in his chair and say, "Mr. Bishop, in that case, I will wish you an expedient existence."
He'll nod and he'll be like, understandably so.
Very good. Should you require me, he kind of flicks his hand around in the air and a business card congeals out of the shadows. And he, places it across the table. He says, "This is my personal number. If you wish to return to this office, you merely need to dial it."
I'll keep that in mind.
Good afternoon, then, Mr. Bishop.
Good afternoon. And he'll bow.
At which point he will switch back to Babel and he will say, "Now get him out of my office. He's starting to smell it up."
Humans and their filthy scent.
Jasper will give up a thumbs up, and he'll look to Ace and sigh when he realizes that if Ace says he wants to go home, he might mean the Horizon Realm, where the mages are. So Jasper will just kind of motion for him to follow him. Come on.
He starts walking with him.
Ragnar raises an eyebrow and then looks to them, and then back to the Duke. Do you wish me to follow them?
As I've said, contractually speaking, we have agreed to return him to the place of his choice. Yes, make sure he is returned.
As you wish. And I'm gonna roll to slip sideways and follow them discreetly. Because I can do that.
Coincidentally, because they will know. Jacob, when you said take me home, where did you mean exactly?
The Horizon Realm. He
Oh,
wants
shit.
to see.
In that case, the yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Zandrovnus will step forward and he will bow and he will he'll cock his head to Kim and he'll say, or he will intimate. Once again, you get really strong feelings from him, and you can kind of translate those into words nearly because he's so expressive at it. And he says, I basically where he wants to go, I can bring you.
Oh.
I understand this, but I have dealt with the mages before. I know there is a location in which leads to that realm. We can bring him to that location and make sure he safely travels through the portal that they have set up there.
There is a nod, and he will say, in that case, and he assumes a human form, and he will kind of just walk, he'll fall in step behind you, and you kind of hear, he blinks at you, and he will communicate that you are under the Duke's protection, thus I will make sure nothing happens.
I'll give you a thankful nod and head over to the library.
Ragnar's not okay with this. But Ragnar goes anyway.
Ace will follow behind Jasper, like as Jasper's guiding him.
You know what? As they're going, Jasper will look over. And, oh shit, Adam, what was your character's name before you switched it to Bentley?
Cole.
Okay, so he'll look over. I'll just say, how's Cole been?
Cole? Who's that?
Techno dude?
I don't know a Cole.
There surely can't be many techno mages around there.
There's a few, the only one that I know of, he's thinking, Bernie, I think his name was?
Jasper gives him a very blank look and just keeps walking to the library.
For the record, Zandrovnus doesn't look like he looks rather normal in his human form. He just doesn't speak, but he'll kind of quirk an eyebrow at Kim and say, "I can make him understand if you'd like."
It's fine. I'm not too worried about it anyway.
He casually shrugs and doesn't seem to care. There is a car waiting for you outside, by the way. It's for the record, as you emerge from the sanctum, you will walk out of what appears to be a closed-down art gallery somewhere in Soho, in New York.
So as soon as that happens, bad things happen to our pretty little Ace.
Yep.
Man, we just gotta get him to the fucking house.
So it's an empty room, so no one can see him turn into a giant purple tentacle monster.
Oh, no, Grog. He's not going to do that.
Okay, good.
Basically, we made him right, but in exchange, he gave us the price, if that makes sense.
Perfect sense to me.
Cool. Continue on. But yeah, so it's basically you walk out of what looks to be a closed down art gallery, which is literally called Inferno.
He just kind of like looks at it and he's like, "How apropos."
There's a withering glance, and the as if to say, and the humans think they know subtlety.
He shrugs.
Well then, we must get to this library without too much problems. Let us take car.
I was planning on it. Somebody else should probably drive. I'm not used to how you Americans drive.
Mid walk, the winged the fiend's clothes change so he's now wearing a chauffeur's outfit. He will sit in the front.
Yep. Jasper will get in the back. I'm assuming just to make.
Ace will get in the back as well. Oh, sorry.
I was assuming to make this kind of funny and hilarious, like Jasper would sit on one side and Ragnar would sit on the other side of Ace.
Oh, yep.
Little maid squished between two demons.
Demon savage.
Strangely enough, he doesn't seem all that scared. Then again, he just was living through like torture.
By the way, I'm going to assume, Ace, your phone goes ballistic with text messages, Facebook messages, people wondering where the fuck you are, all that good shit.
Would he have his phone? I mean, I thought his phone would be destroyed whenever like all of this stuff was like.
You would think that, wouldn't you? But no. As a matter of fact, your phone is in your pocket as soon as you step out of the building. And you hear, "I'm Spiral. I'm happy to help." That is the only accent I'm doing for that entire scene, because that fucking hurt. But Adam, if you wish to join us, you can.
Sure. Where would I be?
You could be in the library.
I was going to say they're about to trump into the Horizon realm for shits and giggles.
Well,
And profit.
I suppose I'll be nearby, just kind of reading some books with a notebook open.
Okay,
Writing
so
stuff down.
the demons will get to the library, which I'm going to assume is probably in downtown Manhattan.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. They will then get out of the car. Coincidentally, there isn't a parking space until such time as the fiend looks over. People get into cars, and a parking space becomes available. Because he's like, "No, I'm not parking. Fuck's sake, not parking this elsewhere. God dang it." But the demons and the mage will clamber out of the car and make their way up the steps to the library.
Hey, people. It's kind of you got a holy resonance near this place. Interesting.
Josh will just kind of look over between Zal and Ragnar and just be like, so there's this one dude called John Smith and another dude, I forgot his name because he's really insignificant, but they have a little beef with our kind, so just watch out.
The fiend blinks and he nods, and he actually takes out a piece of paper and he writes something and he says that is acceptable. However, I very much doubt they will break the peace.
I don't know. John Smith sort of has a stick up his ass. I guess we'll lock in.
All right. You see a kind of a mixed ethnicity gentleman reading books with urban clothing, kind of how it looks on the picture there. He has very, 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 very. His hair is pretty black, tan skin, although you can't really spot where his background comes from. And he's just simply has a book open with a laptop, and he seems to be writing down notes. Ace, you recognize this as Bentley, although he seems to be preoccupied.
Oh, hey Corey. He'll say with an emphasis no, he won't say with an emphasis. He'll just say, "Hey Corey."
He'll kind of look. Huh? But
You'll see Jasper.
You'll see Jasper by me.
He'll just kind of have his mouth slightly open, and he'll look to Ace and go, and he just kind of taps the side of his head real quick as if he's trying to snap himself out of it. Ace?
In the flesh. Now, he says, rubbing his skin.
He looks dumbfounded. He's basically he doesn't look like he's talking.
The one of the ones who's dressed like a chauffeur very quickly scribbles a note and hands it to Jasper, which literally just says, "Is he really that incompetent?" ?
He'll write back, "Are you asking about Ace or this Corey dude?"
He will respond, "A mixture of both."
Probably. I've never met these two before, so.
By the way, question: Why is it that Jasper doesn't know Bentley?
Changed his face and name.
That'll do it.
He did that whole reconstruction stuff.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't remember him. But he's kind of like, and who are these gentlemen?
I think they said their names were Jasper and Ragnar.
That is correct. I am Ragnar.
Hey. And he kind of just looks at you guys and says, She just kind of looks and kind of looks around. Is there anyone nearby in the library?
No, it's actually that's rather pointedly odd, but there is no one else here at this time of day.
He'll kind of look and he'll say, How did you get out? Or what happened to you? He'll actually say, because he doesn't know that he was in the maelstrom, so he'll say, what happened?
Well, I wished for something that I probably shouldn't have wished for, and felt like I was dying over and over again. I was in sort of a dark, misty place. I couldn't see. All I could feel was pain. I couldn't even scream after a while.
He just kind of looks flabbergasted, and he'll say, I should wait here. Here, I don't know. It's not my place, but have a seat. And he'll head inside the Horizon Realm. He is going to find the closest Arcmaster.
All right.
Ace just walked in.
Hold on while I roll a d3.
Oh no!
Oh, for which triumphant member?
This is so bad.
So it's not John Smith.
Oh, God.
And I was told. Was I told of what happened to Jasper? Because he's pretending
Yeah.
that Jasper doesn't exist.
Master Zhao Yu is currently like walking around. So yeah.
He goes, Master Zhao?
Yes.
Um,
Need something, apprentice.
yeah.
Person.
Remember what? You know what happened to Ace, right? Jacob Bishop?
Yes.
He's at the library right now with 3 other people.
You get a very quizzical look, and he goes, "Oh, interesting. Go on."
I don't know who the other 3 are. One looks like a chauffeur. One is Jasper. The other looks like... I forgot the actor's name.
Ragnar.
Well, no, and one looks like
He's a Viking.
he looks like a Viking. I know this sounds... I'm not sure if it's real either.
Well, Jasper should have been back days ago. He was only supposed to be a lawn gnome for a day, so let's go see what this is about.
Very well. To be fair, though, Jasper doesn't know who I am, and I would kind of like it to keep it that way for now.
Understood.
Thank you. So here, I'll lead you to him. So I'll come back out, and I come back out with Master Zhao Yu.
For Ragnar's part, he's going to be, strong, silent type right now, so that I can do the NPCs.
I was going to say, hey, Grog, there's a bunch of fucking demons.
Yeah, Master Zhao Yu just looks, does a double take, scratches at his forehead and raises the cowl ever so slightly and opens his third eye, and then that eye closes and he pulls back down the cowl. Huh.
What?
Do you have official business with me then?
If I remember correctly, Jasper met this dude, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Jasper will look over at the dude to have a big, wide, I guess the best way to describe this is, shit-eating grin, just like, oh, hi. Hold on. Sorry about that. Sisters came in wanting to play with the kittens. Just kind of look over at him and say, "Hey there. It's good to meet you again. We're just here to deliver Ace back."
You're
by the
rather
way,
late.
I will point out that Ace's aura is the standard mage aura, but it now has flecks of red in it.
Master Zhao Yu's competent enough to know what that means, and he just looks at them and then once again looks at Jasper. I see that something interesting has happened to you.
Oh, you mean besides being stuck as a lawn gnome?
Yes, you were supposed to be stuck as a lawn gnome for a day. What happened?
Well, the spell never came off, and I was stuck as a lawn gnome for several weeks.
That is a shame.
Tell me about it. Just watching reruns and reruns and reruns while being manhandled like the little ceramic thing that I was. And it wasn't even a good show either. It was that stupid bullshit Supernatural where they just recolor every single season.
Interesting.
Because someone turned off Blackadder, so I had to watch Supernatural.
Oh.
Zeldrovnus will scribble a message again. He'll hand it to my apologies. He'll hand it to Jasper.
Jasper will read it.
It just says he can enter their realm at any point now. We're just dragging our feet here.
Jasper will write back. Hold on, I'm getting some well-deserved justice. These bitches turned me into a law gnome.
He will respond with Schadenfreude ?
Kim's really tired. I know I'm supposed to know that name. I just can't.
No, Schadenfreude is shameful joy. It's a German term.
Oh.
It's
He doesn't know
You know.
German.
It's the joy you get from other people suffering.
essentially it. But
He'll draw the best little frowny face, like mad frowny face looking thing that he can do and just hand it back to the dude. And then Jasper will just he'll pull his hands out of his pocket because he was probably like slouching with his hands in his pocket. So he'll pull them out, rub them together, clap them, and say, like I said, we're just here to deliver your boy back to you. And then we're gone. We just have to make sure he gets into the Horizon Realm.
That is no student of mine. Not any longer.
Wait, what? What? What do you mean?
He is tainted in a way that is ill-becoming one of our kind.
Oh, come on. I had the same thing and was welcomed. Just let him go in.
What's
But
what's
that
going
doesn't-
on?
for the first time in the scene, you hear kind of a hiss come out of the chauffeur, as you can actually see him physically he's not laughing, but he looks like he is, if that makes sense. There's kind of it's almost like air being released as opposed to an actual sound. Essentially that, yes.
So in that case, Bentley will just kind of look at the guy and just kind of have like a weird look, like looking at him like, what the fuck? So that's it. We're just Ace just ups and disappears, and he's back, and we didn't even know what the hell happened to him, and you're willing to throw him off just like that?
Ace, you have a copy of your contract on you.
He has a
So
copy of his
pull up.
contract literally. He has a copy of his contract literally embroidered over his heart.
He kind of like looks at you and he's like, "What do you mean this?" And he pulls off his shirt.
Oh, joy.
What the fuck?
As you were magical, it actually the letters start to glow in an ominous blue light.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna spend some.
Do you know what this
and-
means?
I'm about to. Hold on.
He just kind of looks at them and he's like,
Spends
"I
willpower. All right, so that's.
was in a lot of pain and they offered to help me. I don't know what's really going on."
Yeah, once again, the mages are abandoning their own kind.
He's not familiar with demon contracts, so what would his base difficulty be?
What's he rolling?
He's rolling anti-law.
Debate.
Okay. So he's going to reduce that by 2. So 6. He'll spend another willpower. 4 successes.
Yep. You get the basics of what the contract is about. He sold his own avatar.
Oh. Master Zhao, like, skin goes, like, from like the white that it is to a very sickly gray color. It just washes over him.
What?
Okay. This has happened. And it specifically has to do when he dies. Like, does it have like natural death, unnatural death? Like everything's covered. I'm guessing.
It's a Faustian contract. It's pretty iron-tight. When he dies, when he is, when he ceases to be, that kind of grand, it covers every conceivable wording.
And what happens if the avatar is destroyed?
Then you will be destroying the demon. You will be destroying the Duke's future property, and he will react accordingly.
I thought so. But it just has to be given to him. It doesn't have to be as it is right now, correct?
And they probably wouldn't have come up with a stipulation for that because they wouldn't conceive of anything like that. So yes.
Okay. Well then, I guess we'll have to take this one in and begin the rituals. We will need a full council for this, though.
The once again, scribble, 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 hands to Kim.
Of course, you gonna read it.
It is my belief that they are attempting to cheat the master. What should we do?
Go right back. Well, it would probably be really fucking stupid to fight him in a library, especially the old kind of lob over there. And he means Master Sal.
Very good. In that case, the guy, he will write. He's very quick at writing, like supernaturally quick. And he will write something, and he will hold it out to the Akashic Master, kind of like,
Mind shields up, a whole bunch of stuff. What's it say?
It literally just says, we made an agreement in good faith. I can't even say good faith with a straight face.
I was about to say.
We made an agreement in good faith with this individual. Trying to tamper with the agreement as written will be frowned upon.
Understood. We will abide by the letter of the law.
He will then bow very deeply before taking a step back.
He'll look over and he's got that look of he'll kind of stick his hand out, like he looks like he wants a piece of paper to write something to Zal.
He will hand you a piece of paper.
He'll write, did you specify the type of death? Because nowadays with today's medical technology, it is not hard to kill someone and bring them back to life, and mages are petty enough to do something like that, even at the cost of his avatar.
He will walk over very unceremoniously, and he will basically point to a passage written on Ace's chest where it does stipulate that, yes.
This is getting really awkward, guys. You're pointing at my chest like I'm sort of contract. I'm just a piece of paper.
I think we get the gist. You can put your shirt down, Ace.
Master has a eidetic memory, so he can now clearly understand what happened. Oh. Well then, we will take possession of the young mage now, as befits our agreement.
We have to make sure he goes into the Horizon Realm to fulfill our end of the bargain.
You may watch, but if you try to enter, I cannot guarantee that you will walk out alive.
Yes, I know that. We just have to make sure he goes in.
Evan, you do know that is one of the rules, that demons do not go in and expect to come out alive.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just like the mages don't expect to go into the Dukes area.
That's fair. The Zal will walk back behind. I can brain today. Sorry, I'm sick and blah. Jasper, and will kind of nonchalantly shrug.
So they'll enter a back room, and they'll leave the door open, cracked, so that it's not wide open, so everyone can see. But the demons can walk around and look in to see that this is happening.
And yeah, Bentley will take the stuff, laptop, book, and follow Master Zhou with Ace.
Ace will follow Bentley.
Jasper will wave goodbye to everyone as they enter the Horizon Realm.
Ace will kind of look at Jasper like, as he's waving goodbye and just give him a thumbs up and have like a smile on his face.
As they start to walk out of the building, Zal will write on a piece of paper, amusing. That's the last time he's going to smile, I think.
Jasper will... Actually, no, we're away. Oh, we're away from the mages, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Jasper will just kind of say, "Yeah, probably." Knowing them, they will probably try to find some way to wiggle him out of that contract.
He will nod and he will say, "Indeed, the master doesn't care." He will write, "Indeed, the master doesn't care much about the avatar itself. However, he likes the view of the hypocrisy."
I can understand that.
They are trying to destroy the very idea that is divinity. I do not wish them luck in this endeavor.
He will write again on his little piece of paper and he'll say, "However, both of you have done exceptionally well and it will be recorded. Now then, let's go get ice cream."
Excellent. My body remembers ice cream and adores it.
Can you never say that again? Like, my body remembers it and adored that's... Dude.
It is what it is. It is merely a suit that I wear.
Yeah, but it's really weird because it reminds me of all those like little jokes about my body is ready, and that's just... Oh, dude.
A little piece of paper that literally just says, "Is your body not ready?" Question mark.
I'll just look over to
That's pretty
Ragnar.
fucking fun.
It is a serious question. You should answer him.
Jasper he looks so, because he's trying to, because it dawns on Jasper right now, these guys don't really see them as bodies, he just sees them as meat suits, whereas Jasper was actually born. So he's he's trying to work up the nerve to say yes, but it looks like he's just kind of struggling to get it out.
The chauffeur pats you on the head. Anyway, is that all we want to do with this scene? Because, yeah.
Sure. We can end it here and then do a mage scene afterwards.
Yeah.
Satoshi wants to hear all of this goodness.
All right, Evan, would you like to lead us out, or would you like me to?
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Due to the stressful nature of the scene and to put up with me being what I can only refer to as touched by the Plague Father, all players in this scene will receive a bonus of 2 XP. Please make a note of that on your sheet. If there have been any other rewards given to you in character, those will be rewards given to you in character. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. If we ever have any, this has been another scene. Good evening.